If war started tomorrow, two names would dominate every conversation on Earth: the United States and China. News channels would rush to their maps, experts would fill studio panels, analysts would open databases built over decades, budgets would be compared, aircraft would be counted, ships, missiles, satellites, cyber units, artificial intelligence. The screen would drown in numbers, clean numbers, precise numbers, comforting numbers, and almost everyone watching would believe they were finally seeing the truth. They wouldn't be. Because wars are not decided by numbers. They never have been. Wars are decided by something far more uncomfortable, not power, but fitness. Modern war is not a single battle. It is not one battlefield. It is not one domain. And it is not one moment frozen in time. Modern war is a living system, a system under pressure. Pressure from speed, pressure from uncertainty, pressure from human limitation. And the American and Chinese militaries were never designed to endure the same kind of pressure. They were built for different wars, different timelines, different failure points. And that difference defines everything that follows. Most public debates begin with the wrong question. Who is stronger? It sounds logical, it sounds scientific, it sounds objective, but it is also meaningless. Because strength without context is not power. It is weight. The real question is far more difficult. Who is built for the war that actually happens? Not the war imagined in think tanks, not the war drawn on clean digital maps, but the war that unfolds when assumptions collapse. Two militaries, two origins. The United States was shaped by distance, two oceans, separated continents, a global network of allies. American power only mattered if it could move. From the Second World War to the Cold War and beyond, the United States built a military that could arrive anywhere, stay indefinitely, and fight across multiple theaters at once. Not because it sought global conflict, but because geography demanded global reach. Its true advantage was never just firepower. It was reach, logistics, integration, the ability to link air, sea, land, space, and cyber into a single operational organism. A military designed not for one decisive battle, but for endless uncertainty. China was shaped by the opposite: geography, history, and memory. A vast population concentrated near the coast, crowded borders, and centuries defined by invasion, fragmentation, and humiliation. China did not design its military to dominate the world. It designed it to make its region unbreakable. Every modernization program, every doctrinal reform, every new weapons system points toward a single assumption. If a decisive war happens, it will happen close to home, and it must be won quickly. Before outside forces can fully react, before alliances fully mobilize, before time turns against it. Same technological era, completely different logic. At Stratos, we do not rank armies. We interrogate them. We do not ask how many platforms they own. We ask what happens when the plan fails. How quickly do they recognize failure? How fast do they adapt? How well do humans and machines cooperate under stress? And how long can the system function once the war stops being clean? Because it always does. The United States plans for uncertainty. Multiple theaters, unpredictable escalation, simultaneous pressure in Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and cyberspace. This creates flexibility, but flexibility has a cost. Complex command structures, long decision chains, a system powerful enough to move the world, but heavy enough to slow itself down. China plans for focus, one primary theater, one decisive arc of conflict, one compressed timeline where speed matters more than elegance. This creates clarity, but clarity carries risk. If the war expands, if assumptions break, if timelines stretch, the system has less margin to adapt. American forces maintain constant global readiness. Carrier groups rotate endlessly. Personnel cycle across continents. Maintenance stretches supply chains thin. It works, but it extracts wear. Fatigue accumulates. Logistics become vulnerable. Readiness becomes expensive. China concentrates readiness where conflict is most likely. Shorter supply lines, interior logistics, rapid reaction forces positioned near key flashpoints, less global presence, but greater local density. Both militaries learn quickly, but not in the same environment. The United States learns through real war, through live operations, coalition warfare, decades of expeditionary combat, lessons paid for in blood and exposure. China learns through controlled iteration, massive simulations, closed exercises, relentless internal experimentation. Failures are contained. Lessons are absorbed. Systems evolve quietly. One learns in public, the other learns in silence. Neither method guarantees success. Pressure decides which one survives. Technology is not power. Integration is. The United States emphasizes networks, distributed decision-making, information dominance, layered resilience. This creates adaptability, but also dependence. When networks degrade, decisions slow. China emphasizes synchronization, centralized intent, tightly coordinated platforms, systems operating as a single organism. This creates speed, but also fragility. When coordination breaks, everything breaks. Stress always arrives. No war unfolds as planned. Communications fail. Satellites are disrupted. Data overwhelms commanders. Human judgment fractures. The critical question is not whether stress will arrive. It is which system was designed to survive it. The United States survives through alliances, shared intelligence, shared logistics, shared risk, power multiplied through cooperation. But cooperation is political, and politics are slow. China survives through industrial endurance, manufacturing scale, domestic supply chains, internal resilience, power sustained through capacity. But endurance requires time, and time is not always available. This leads to the most dangerous illusion in modern warfare, that there's a single winner. There isn't. In a prolonged global conflict, the American system holds the advantage. It absorbs chaos and keeps functioning. But in a fast, regional, high-intensity conflict close to China's core interests, the balance shifts. China becomes extremely dangerous, not because it is stronger on paper, but because it is optimized for that specific moment. Power is contextual. The strongest army on paper is not always the strongest force in reality. Wars are not won by size. They are won by fit. Fit between doctrine and geography. Fit between speed and decision-making. Fit between technology and human limits. The next wars will not be slow. They will not allow correction. They will punish hesitation. Modern warfare does not reward strength. It rewards adaptation. And the armies that fail to understand this will learn it the hardest way possible. This is not about who wins. It is about who survives long enough to adapt. This is Stratos Warfare,